Wrong one.
Wrong one. Oh no.
Welcome to Comcast, where the fandoms unite. With the Boba Fett swagger and the Jedi's in sight. It's a comic book cocktail, shaken and stirred. We're the coolest cats in the whole nerd herd. Grab your badge and strike.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Concast. Hey, I was making a new, because, sometimes I do like the videos where I'm building crap with my little models. And I was making, I wanted a song to play over, like when I would speed through stuff. And I came up with this great song, and I went through Suno and had Suno create the music and the person singing. And it was all done to it was all done in the genre of Team America, the theme song to Team America, fuck yeah.
Okay.
All right, it was like the 80s, and the thing, what the problem is that the chorus was all like, this is a montage, it was all doing that, but it couldn't pronounce montage. And
Really?
so it was just like, this is a montogi, this is a montage. I was like, no, it was perfect except for your freaking chorus.
I've seen that in a lot of other AI too, where I'll be watching something enough to even where sometimes I'll go, is that AI? Is that? And then they'll say a word or some very famous, like one today was Heidi Klum or something. They started calling kept calling her Heidi Klum or something like that. And you're like, oh yeah, that's definitely a fake. This many times saying that name wrong that many times. So sorry, I should hop over to chat then. Just now getting
That's okay. We just started. No,
Hi,
yeah,
Meg.
and but other than that, it was perfect. I mean, it was the perfect. I'm building a model montage song because it just kept, it was like a hard 80s driving riff, and it was montage. We're doing a montage, and it was. I was like, oh, why did you mess that up?
Thanks for bringing it for us to hear then.
Oh, I got it. I didn't think you wanted to be subjected to it.
Well, the same folks that did Team America did the montage song too. Where it is
Yeah.
that? Have you heard that song? Okay.
Well, yeah, because it's in the Team America movie.
Team America movie. Yeah. I just making sure you knew, because that just, since it is another montage song, and they did one called Montage. So
yeah, but I didn't want to for two reasons. One, I didn't want to take theirs, because it's theirs, and two, I didn't want to get flagged for copyright violation.
Yeah, well, I get that for sure. Shoot. So how's Ash? Not that we didn't see just the other day, but we haven't done podcast in a few weeks, so
no, we have not. We have not done a podcast since before Christmas was our last one, because each of the Wednesdays otherwise ended up on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. So screw that, right?
Yeah. Well, it's not like there wasn't tons of stuff to talk about. I doubt we'll hit it all.
Oh, God, no, we won't hit it all. I mean, most of it I've forgotten. I mean, you bring it up, I'll remember it.
I was even sitting there talking to Christy about people in the pop culture industry that had passed away. That was like, oh, last time we were going to do Rob Reiner and who else passed away? I can't remember. She goes, well, one of the musical ones just passed away, huh?
Didn't Hulk Hogan just pass away?
Well, Hulk Hogan passed away, but that's not who I was thinking of. There's somebody else that just right before Christmas had passed. I cannot recall now.
Which one of the Blades passed away?
Is one of the original guys. Guy I barely knew, Zimmerman, I believe. Al just passed or talked about it today, but he's one of the original members, like back in the old days.
Wow.
But you see, they're not giving us famous people who died in December 2025. We had a tennis player, cricket batsman, Ukrainian soccer midfielder, British businessman.
Hey, Angelo. Well, see, that's a sucky thing. Even like me talking about one of the Blades passing and stuff was in our world compared to what's famous in other people's world. Like if Larry Elmore passed away, that would be devastating. But in the regular mainstream, they'd be like, Larry who, So
I'm looking here. I mean, a lot of people, but I said famous people, and These people must be famous for reasons that I don't care about.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like different people in
The
different.
guy who
different
voiced
genres.
Jimmy Neutron in Happy Feet, he died.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Jeff Garcia, he died at age 50.
Yeah, I'm gonna feel like a heel now when it pops up because it was somebody of significance in our world. It could have been a voice actor, could have been a gamer, could have been a lot of stuff, but it's been weeks now, and with all the holiday season and stuff coming through, and just all the impact of everything, it has been hard to keep up. Just politics, everything else, and one of the things on our side, which I'll say for the few people watching, we're gonna talk about at the end of the show. I've been struggling with the idea on whether we were going to shut down our anime festival after 20 years.
Yeah,
which we
that's
just
a
made
big
our
thing.
announcement yesterday, and I'll talk about that at the end a bit. Some of the decision process, what's going on with it. Everybody's been reaching out about opportunities, things we're going to do with the last year, things that they want to do. Other people interested in maybe taking it over, things like that. I'll chat about that a little bit, but we're going to wait to the end of the episode because I know I have a couple other people from NakaCon and other stuff that are going to tune in. And I want to make sure to give them the chance tonight. So, having that said, and it should be an easy one. Did we have any geekasms over Christmas?
I did. I got back into making tabletop terrain, got bored, so I thought I'd try it out.
So
there we go.
There you go. For those listening on the audio version, Cookie is holding up a tower he has made.
Yes, it looks like a 1600s, 1700s defensive tower. It's circular on the bottom and square on the top. On the bottom is stone. On the top is timbered wood, and so it's very much a frontiers kind of fortification. That looks really nice, and it's got tile roofing. That's so nice.
Yeah, I made it for my game.
Yeah,
and I've got several other things I've built, and so I'm getting itchy to play, Brother Daryl.
Bring that back up here. I want to talk about this just a brief moment because I did. Tim and I haven't got a game together for a number of years. We used to game together all the time. So I'm like, hello, Tim. Now I got a 3D printer. We can just print this shit.
It's just not as cool.
And Tim just went old school and went the stuff we used to do back in the day completely. So if you look, this is like a cup of soup cup. And
nice.
I hope you don't
5mm foam.
5mm. Yeah, this is all just foam from like a packing kit. Here, this is corrugated cardboard that he has cut in half and then turned into shingles. So it's all the same stuff we used to do back in the day. I mean, everything from the doorknob to the hinges and everything. Just what you probably got $1 into this if you're lucky.
Maybe
if you're lucky. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was just nice.
That's kind of stuff that you do a little demo on YouTube and you get followers.
You think you can.
You totally, dude. If you ever seriously just start looking at the do YouTube searches for like dioramas and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
who are
there's
just
a bunch of guys doing it, but
yeah, you have huge views on it. But the thing is that there's a difference between those people that are doing, the stuff where they 3D print like I would because I have no talent, and then people who actually craft make it.
Yeah, I'll throw him a lifeline. Yes, you do have talent.
Well, I don't have talent for that.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
No,
I'm not going to tell everybody the talent you do have, but it's one you learned in jail.
Not if you want your toes to curl like that again, you won't.
No, well, it's even like you and I were talking on the phone earlier, like, oh, we could easily do a modeling podcast and stuff if we want. Problem is then you got to keep up on it, and you got to do it every week, and you got to.
No, you don't have to do it every week. The modeling podcast that I follow, they only do it once a month.
Oh wow. Yeah, because we've talked about doing one just being on the road, showing people the stuff you got to do to go on the road and all that. But I got a feeling that would go to a select group of people that already know what it's like to be on the road. Yeah. So
I would say the majority, yes, but there are still people out there that just have a curiosity that would watch.
Yeah, I could see that.
I mean, because, look at Tim here. Tim, he really doesn't have any experience with Thai ladyboys, but he watches all those videos.
Hello, good one, Daryl. Good one.
That's awesome. How you can play it off as a joke. Does that work? All right.
Woo.
No, he's just worried because he's like, oh, thank God he said it's a joke. He actually saw my search history.
I was trying to think, Geekgasm wise, there's plenty because it's been a couple weeks. We had Christmas and all the, we could talk about all the stuff we got for Christmas. We've been
I got
taking
one
this.
that you will find interesting. Keep talking. That I got as a Christmas present for my wife.
I was gonna say I've been taking most of my time trying to go through like the last few podcasts, going through Studio up here, my various rooms, resetting my 3D printers, all that stuff. But I've been able to work with my son-in-law. He's got 3 3D printers now, so we're working on some stuff. I'm trying to help him get his stuff going, which is nice.
What printers does he have?
He has 2 Enders. One is the one right before mine, and the other is 2 before mine. Just the V3, the original V3, and then he's got the one.
I had the V3 Ender. No, I had the Ender 3 V1. All right. And then I upgraded it to basically be an Ender 3 V2 through upgrades. And now that's the one I hand off to people when they're like, oh, I'm interested in 3D printing. I'm like, here you go, because you're going to learn some shit on this one.
Well, I don't remember which one he got today, but it's one with enclosed with like a 3-foot tower, so it's tall.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna go look at it tomorrow and see what we're doing. But if I were to have a Geekgasm, and it's tough because I ended up getting a bunch of cool geeky stuff. I went and helped Kelly move again, which I got Star Trek stuff for you out in the winery.
Nice.
From him. He gave me a bunch of cool stuff, like a Mark Hamill signed photo and just tons of cool shit.
That's not Star Trek.
No. I said cool stuff. I said he gave me Star Trek and cool stuff as well.
Yeah, I'm biting my thumb, but I'm not biting it at you, sir. Okay.
Well, and if I were to bitch about, or not bitch about, if I were to talk about Star Trek as well, it'd go along with my Geekgasm, because we went to our friends James and Kendra's last Saturday.
Yes,
and you were there, and Frankie was there, and we went and played games with some friends from TsunamiCon, and they had an excellent gaming setup, awesome tables, tons of games. They hosted us. We did.
It was a very welcoming environment.
It was,
and I love playing games.
I've been to other people's gaming rooms, and and some of them, they just really felt pretentious and stuff like that. Theirs was very welcoming, and James cooked a really good curry for us all.
Yes, he did, a Japanese curry.
Yeah,
I loved it.
Well,
I love playing games with James because he's so knowledgeable about his games. Like if it's a game you've only played for the very first time, he can make it easy,
Yeah, but I'm also catching on to him when it comes to what he tells you might be the good thing for you is the thing that he, all right. He's at heart. Yeah? It's nothing negative. It's just at heart, he is a competitive gamer.
Okay, here in a minute, I got to talk about what John's talking about because that was a fucking thing. Stranger Things. We'll have to get back to that. But
right.
Gaming wise, one of the things that the Star Trek element I was going to bring in, Kendra is a huge Star Trek nut. Enough.
She makes me look like a dabbler.
Or Kira, I mean, sorry.
Yeah,
I walked in. First thing I said is I looked at Daryl and I said amateur. But there's a lot of, as a nerdy, geeky type, it was real nice to just be over there and see not only somebody else's gaming room and geek collection of stuff, but there's always that little special spot in my heart for people that do this and don't have children. And you can look and you can go, oh, this is what it would have been like.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, exactly. This is where my money could have gone.
But
yeah. Now let me see.
I'll let you do your Geekgasm, then I'll jump on what John was saying here.
One thing that I got for Christmas from the wife is this model of C-Lab 3. And
oh wow.
The cool thing is that the C-Lab is an actual thing, that they had in this one, it's the whole model kit, and it's glass on one side, or plastic, of course, on one side, so you can see inside and do the whole interior and things like that. So it's really cool. And
is this
I
the
have
C-Lab Hanna-Barbera's C Lab?
What?
No, that's the real one.
Is this the real C Lab or from Hanna-Barbera's C Lab?
Real C Lab.
Okay.
You
All
know,
right,
the fucked
and
up thing about it is I look at that and all I can think of is I'd never complete it. It would become tabletop terrain because I was already thinking about, man, I could do something really cool with that.
But the cool thing is that the last time we went down to the Florida Keys, there is a dive shop down there that has the original C Lab and on shore, and you can go climb through it.
Really? Oh,
And
wow.
so I got to climb around in that a little bit when we were down there in 2019, right before the pandemic.
The original C Lab, isn't it just 2 pods?
It was just like one tube. It was just like one tube.
I thought there was 2 of them and it was like an L, but
No, it was just like one one pressure vessel. But the other thing is that I finally got done with my first diorama. It was this book nook with the Smogs Dragon, and if you look really closely, there's the little hobbit. It's not focusing. There's a little hobbit in there, and that thing I had to use the resin printer for because that hobbit was literally the size of my pinky nail.
wow.
Yeah, I can tell you right now that this camera is not doing the justice because I was there and saw it in person when you got the lights in it and everything.
Yeah, got the flickering lights.
I love that it's a box and the whole diorama's within the box.
Yeah, it's a book nook.
Yeah, you about got to be right there to see all the little detail and stuff in it then. Yeah.
So that was my first diorama I've ever done was that book nook. I finally did it. I've had it printed off now for like a year and a half plus and just sitting over on the side. Matter of fact, it was one of the first things I printed off on the Ender 3 V3 SE.
I wonder how many modelers out there, because I got stuff over there that I've had since easily the 90s, still in boxes that I haven't messed with yet. So I'm wondering how long the longest model is. Oh, I started this back in 67. And then what's he doing?
Michael. That's for Michael. All right.
I'm glad you. Oh, okay. All right. I'm going to comment on this that John had put because I was going to talk about this and we're talking. I only got to read the first part. Let's see if I can scroll up on this here. Let's see.
You want me to read it off to you?
Yeah, if you would, because it's not letting me scroll up here.
All right. He said, watching the new episode of Stranger Things now. Can't believe they faked us out and dropped a new episode today.
Now, right there. Hold up. Because
Just kidding. I can't believe that so many people fell for it, but I admit I did check after 7 tonight just in case.
Yeah, now that's what, because I only read the first part of that as I was going, so I thought maybe this had happened. I don't know if you guys had heard the Stranger Things drama of the new episode thing.
That it kind of ended on a Game of Thrones kind of finale that nobody liked.
Yeah, I mean, I have not yet watched the final episode. But Christian and I, of course, we watched everything up to the final episode. Pretty disappointed with this season. I hate to say it. I'm a Stranger Things fan. You can definitely tell not the same writers. As much as they're saying the same right, you can tell just with the way everybody talks and stuff. It's okay. It's passable. I have not watched the last episode. Everybody was hating on the last episode on New Year's. So then this conspiracy started, or whatever, this rumor mill that last episode, it was so poorly received because it was intentionally written bad. And they have actually filmed a fake season finale, and it's going to be coming out on the 7th today. Sometime tonight, they're bringing out this episode, not advertising or anything. It's just going to hit, and it's going to surprise everybody with the big twists and shit. And long story short, it was a lot of wishful thinking. And there were videos out there like crazy where people are like, well, if you look like here where the teacher's standing at the desk and the clock says 1:35 on it, which is January 7th. And then everybody's like, oh, it's proof. And it was ridiculous enough that as you're watching it, you're like, oh, that's stupid.
Yeah.
So tonight, supposedly there's a ton of people waiting on that Stranger Things finale. It's never going to happen. I don't know. Part of me goes, I hope it is, because they've only got one episode in my mind to redeem themselves, and everybody else says the episode sucks.
And
I don't know.
I'm sorry, just sometimes they do that. They, especially when that switches pilots in midstream. I mean, there's so many things out there where you can tell as soon as somebody else took over, things changed dramatically.
Oh, Doctor Who's a great example of that. How many times
Kathleen Kennedy.
Well, yeah, that's almost unfair though.
You should hear how much the name Alex Kurtzman is vilified in the Star Trek community.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. Oh shoot, I haven't been reading. Sorry, spoiler-free review. I liked it, but expected more. Unfortunately, the idea of another real episode takes away from the real ending. Yeah, not having watched the ending and not wanting to talk spoilers too much, it would have been another one of those where the actual season finale would be like, it's all a dream, like Vecna put it in our heads of the what everybody went on to do, the epilogues and stuff like that. So it would have been like a whole, it was all a dream, fooled you kind of bullshit, which I wouldn't like either. Angela said she loved the season finale, and
well, there's no accounting for taste. I don't know. I'm joking. I have not watched Stranger Things since the ending of the first season. I haven't seen any of the others. Really? Yeah.
See, and I really like Stranger Things. I think it's pretty good. Like I say, you could definitely tell the different writing. There's good stuff this season, bad stuff this season. There was a little too many hero moments for a final season, I think. But yeah, that I can talk Stranger Things another time. But it was that whole, the fans trying to wedge in that mystery season finale thing was what I wanted to talk about.
Were you talking about Diane Keaton or Robert Redford or Malcolm Jamal Warner who died?
Nope.
All right.
None of those.
Okay.
Well, I'll figure it out after the episode.
So many people have died. So many people have died.
So many. I won't lie. To me, Rob Reiner was a hit, man. I mean,
yeah, he went out in style.
It really said, whoa. But just all the things he's accomplished and done, and with like the new Spinal Tap and stuff coming out, it just I'm a Rob Reiner fan, and I think most geeks are, if nothing else, just from Princess Bride alone. But it just saddened me that it all turned so political immediately when it didn't need to be.
This will age me, but I remember him in All in the Family.
Oh yeah, they talk about it all the time.
Meathead.
Mm-hmm.
But oh shit, see, I should be reading the side here.
Sometimes I have to remind myself that he was in All in the Family.
I do too, because my first real experience for Rob Reiner. Gil Gerard. Yes, Gil Gerard passed. Yes, that was the one.
That's it.
Because I've worked with Gil Gerard like half a dozen times.
Yeah,
that was
Kristen.
That was too bad. Where was I going? Oh, Rob Reiner. But with me, like I remember him being Meathead, but I didn't remember him as an actor again. Like I knew he went on to become a director until Summer School. If you remember Summer School, he had a bit part in that. But yeah, just his Summer School with
well, come on,
Mark Harmon. Huh?
Wasn't he, like the guy in charge of the Princess Bride?
Yeah, I already said that. Yeah, Princess Bride earlier. I said all geeks love
busy flipping through all the dead people.
Yeah. Oh, he's done so much stuff here. Let's see. Michael says the way Wizard of Oz turned out, it was still just a crazy dream. True. I mean, technically.
But was it?
Well, it depends on whose version of Wizard of Oz you're going after.
Was it?
Yeah. But yeah, it's just sad that they turned that all political right away instead of us being able. Because I even said, as soon as it happened, I said, get ready for an online loop of Princess Bride, man, and Spinal Tap and stuff. We're going to see a lot of these over and over again. And I think because the whole thing did go the way it did, it's almost like he just got shelved then. Like I always said, that was the best thing of Tom Petty passing away. We got Tom Petty music nonstop on the radio for a week.
Yeah, that was the reason I didn't like him passing away, because I'm not a fan of Tom Petty music.
And And that's okay. It's not like I'm a huge fan, but at least it was,
Well, yeah, no,
uh,
just they overplayed him. It was kind of like back in the day, they just overplayed him on MTV. Just like when Bobby McFerrin came out with "Don't Worry, Be Happy." It was a great song the first 200 times I heard it. After that, no.
yeah.
Or I remember. Okay, this is dating us. Not only was MTV on the air, which it no longer is. All right, they finally pulled MTV. MTV is no longer a thing.
I didn't know that they pulled it completely, but I could see that. I mean,
just like this last week or so, and they went
well,
out.
I almost wonder if it wasn't coming when they pulled Ridiculousness and some other stuff, because they were pulling anything that got any numbers was all going away. And let's face it, not many people watch MTV for much anything anymore.
Well, everybody loved them for the music. People had it playing in the background for the music, and then they stopped doing the music.
Oh, that was a long time ago, though. Yeah, they've been doing reality TV forever.
I know, and it sucked. But they went out with the same song that they started with.
Video killed the radio star.
They did. But I remember way back in the 80s, I remember when they always had, like the hot new video at the top of the hour. And I remember for like a week and a half straight, at the top of every freaking hour, the top of every half hour, I think it was, Prince's Little Red Corvette would come on again. And it started off as a great song, but after like 2 weeks of it, I'm like, fuck, somebody else make a video, please.
Well, see, that's a rough spot. I rarely even listen to the radio anymore. I mean, almost everything I just stream in.
Well, that's
why we went out of business.
Yeah.
The internet.
Yeah. All right. What else we got for news this week?
News? Oh shit! I didn't look anything up.
Oh, you're right, because I can jump into talking anime festival and conventions right now, but I could get into a bitch session pretty quick too. So
I got one thing. Kathleen Kennedy is finally stepping down. Praise Jesus.
Is that real?
That is real. And Dave Filoni is taking over. Dave Filoni and some other guy.
So most of you probably know, but Kathleen Kennedy, of course, runs Star Wars for Disney, and she is hated. Well, she's just hated.
Yeah.
And they're putting Dave Filoni in his spot.
In her spot, yeah.
Or her spot, yeah.
Yep. Actually, they're putting two people in it.
Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni.
No. Not Jon Favreau. I'm sorry to hear. But some guy that's going to run all the clerical and all the administrative stuff, and then Dave Filoni for all the cool shit.
Well, that's one of the things that has always irritated me about the U.S., all right, is if you look at other countries, they have a president and a prime minister, all right? The president handles stuff that like our president's supposed to do. It's supposed to be the outward facing international stuff, but handling the day-to-day running of the country is the prime minister. All right. And we have a vice president. And in my opinion, half of the job that the president has to do should be saddled onto the vice president. All right. You shouldn't just be sitting there, cutting freaking ribbons and waiting for somebody to catch a coronary. You should actually be doing some freaking work. But no, we take both of those jobs and saddle it onto one person, which I think is a misusage of our personnel that we have there.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, Trump could use some extra time. He could figure out some new ways to fuck us.
No. Did I say
that out loud?
That on the golf course. Hold on, he's already there. Never mind. But no, we don't talk about.
And see, that's been a huge struggle with I've talked about this with this channel too, where we used to cover conventions and stuff pretty much all the time, and pop culture industry, and we're like, we don't want to talk politics. I'd love not to, and unfortunately, we've gotten in a world where politics are influencing that world of conventions a lot, so it's hard to not talk about it sometime.
Everything, I mean,
it's affecting everything.
Yeah.
It's and I'll tell you, I could sit right here. We could do 3 hours right now on just how politics are affecting the convention festival industry easily, but it would get negative and it would be no fun. And then afterwards I would feel dirty and need a beer or a joint or something to get me out of this fucking, and right now this podcast mainly is for us to get together, chat, say hi to some friends, that kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
So talk about our model shit and stuff like that.
Well, yeah. Speaking of that, this one, which is of course the original Starship Enterprise, it's the first time I'm running fiber optics. So that's a new thing that I'm trying out on this one, is running fiber optics.
I figured you already done fiber optics for shit.
No, all the stuff that I had done before had all just been through light mask. I mean, paint masking and scraping off and allowing stuff to come through, Raytheon effects, all that stuff. I've never tried fiber optics, and so this is my first time.
Well, awesome. Sorry, my laptop's messing up. I know you can't tell from my post recently, but I've actually really hate politics.
Yeah.
Six too. Yeah, it is mostly what's feed, unfortunately. We were talking about that right before the podcast. I went to go to my YouTube where I save a bunch of videos for this show, so I can go, oh, hey, this came up. I want to talk about it or ask people about it. And now he's just full of fucking politics stuff, and it's all negative, and even as I try to watch stuff, and then like I'll be watching something else, and it'll just keep playing through videos, and sure enough, one of those will come up, and then you'll get sucked in, you'll get interested, and then we'll start bitching politics. And it's not good, but it is enough that it's made major effects on how I'm treating my career this next year for sure. But
yeah, it's definitely having an effect on things, and I think we just when it comes to our career stuff, I think we should just lay low.
That is exactly kind of what my game plan is this year.
I don't think I could lay any lower right now, man.
I mean, we're still going to be doing the WAG shows. We're going to do all the WAG shows we did last year.
Maybe a couple more.
Probably a couple more on top of it. As far as shows, running shows, I still have about half a dozen shows that I'm consulting with, and then I've got another half a dozen after that I consult with just for free. And I feel I can say this because I think anybody that ever watches this stuff consulted with knows that when I do something for free for a friend, it's like, this is me helping out while I'm at the con or with some emails. I'm not working my ass off like I do for those we consult with, because Tim's been in some of those shows where I consult with, and I'll get up 6 in the morning, we'll be out there putting shit up and doing decorations, and we'll be doing above and beyond, and stuff comes up missing and we go fill in, and I mean it's a whole nother element compared to we'll help out move a few things while we're there kind of shit. So it's not so much money, but I'm pulling back from some of those, and of course the Anime Fest we're going to step away from this year after running for 22 years. So take a bath, hippie. Oh shit.
I did. And it's almost time for, we started 2026. It's almost time for my next one. All right.
But yeah, I can touch on that. We'll touch on that a little bit. And that way we can end everything on good notes. Not that this is bad. It's not.
Well, here's a squirrel. Have either of you heard about the new pub that's in Topeka? It is a full medieval 2-story pub. It's a big basement that's done up like a dungeon, and an upstairs it's done up like a medieval tavern.
Well, I've heard of clubs that have had dungeons before, and those were special private clubs.
That's a different kind of dungeon, Daryl.
Okay. Just making sure, because I was very nervous in there, and I left quickly.
Well, he was done quickly, to be fair.
We're not talking about those days you spent in Germany. We all know.
No.
Now, I don't know if Angela's still on here, but I couldn't imagine them not at least reaching out to her in Topeka, since she owns Topeka Ren Fair. But
matter of fact, I think I
may have sent it to her.
Send it to you.
Oh, I don't know.
I should send it to Angela.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. That'd be a good collab if they don't have something going on. Especially with doing the pub crawls and stuff at Ren Fair there. No, I had not seen that. I did see their Viking bar last time we were there, which was real nice. I enjoyed that.
Oh, good.
That's it right there.
You see, we got to, Jessica and I went out to Wizard Valley. We got to see their new back area that they've all opened it up and made it so much bigger and more places to play at. That's looking really nice.
That's actually where we did the big meeting to announce to all our volunteers and stuff when we were shutting down Anime Fest. they hosted us there. We came in, everybody ate lunch there and stuff, and we got to chat about it for a while. It's kind of nice.
Okay, good.
Keep scrolling down. Show you some pictures.
Okay, so I'm looking at pictures of this medieval tavern in Topeka, Kansas, that Cookie is talking about.
Don't scroll too far. You might see something on his phone that you don't want to see. Go ahead.
That's not a thumb, man. Let me tell you.
It's hung
I'm
like
more worried about if this is a thumbprint on the screen here, but no, it looks great. Big beams, looks like 14-foot ceilings in the place. Fake suits of armor. Very well. I was going to say the artwork, and it's more Renaissance than medieval. Is this guy dressed like Mal? Is the bartender dressed like Mal from?
I don't know, man.
What, from Firefly?
Yeah,
he kind of got that look, but
it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
So
yeah, the inside of it looks gorgeous.
He's dressed like a brown coat
without the jacket on.
There's at least 8 beers on tap.
Stephanie just asked, "Are you talking about Pilgrim Keep in St. Mary's?"
I'd have to scroll back up to the top.
Hang on a second.
Get the.
I'm starting to think this is just this is just this guy's bartending outfit. He's not dressed like Mal.
Okay, good.
So okay,
Pilgrim's Keep in St. Mary's.
Yep.
Yep, it is, Stephanie.
So who asked about Pilgrim's Keep?
Stephanie.
Oh, Steph would know. All right. Yeah. Huh.
Yeah. I'd like to kind of go there.
Well, I'm sure we'll make it back up that way. Yeah. No, I hadn't known about that one. That's
Honk sent it to me the other day.
Oh, well, then that's probably why Steph would know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah.
No.
All right.
Today, instead of researching news articles like I should have, I was following down a rabbit hole. That whole conversation I had with you last night, how I believe that Legos should be the gateway drug to modeling.
Yes.
If they played their cards right.
Whether you think it should be or not, it already is. It's there. It exists. I mean,
not as much, because the problem is like I was talking with you last night. The problem is that a lot of model companies that make the models, they are concentrated on World War II stuff. All right. And that's not what people who buy Legos like, because, you really don't see World War II Lego sets flying off the fucking shelf at Walmart.
So you're saying look at Lego for the trends for models.
I mean, that is the way to do it. It's because what Lego does, well, first off, they have a great thing because they don't have to create a new mold every time that they come out with a model set. They just go to the parts bin of 11,000 different Lego bricks that they have, and they tell their Lego masters, build it out of this, and boom, it's done. And then what they do is they have the whole Lego Ideas page. Remember that one?
I don't remember Lego Ideas.
I think it's Lego Ideas, but it's the website you go to online where people who have created their own Lego sets, and then people vote on them.
Right. And sometimes it'll even be made into an actual set. This year was the Polaroid camera, I think.
Right. And so then right there, Lego already knows what people like. They know, people who have, are so invested in it, they voted on it. So they probably already know a percentage wise how many of those people will buy it. So they know all this stuff going in. And so they already have a whole public thing behind it where they're doing their focus group utilizing that website. And if I was a model making company, I would then farm through and find out which Lego sets are the best selling Lego sets. And I would start making models out of those same subject matter. That way it would bring people up, because you go, if you can find a Walmart that has models in it, the models are on an end cap. Nobody cares about them. But the Lego aisle, they got that crap locked down by like baby formula.
See, and I think I agreed with you totally last night, because right away I was like, oh yeah, anybody our age that didn't play Warhammer and used Lego for something of kind of terrain or something is full of shit, because we all did.
Yep.
And also,
there were groups that used their medieval Legos and had wars. just like
Yeah.
Warhammer. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the other day you were asking for Legos for something you're working on. I was like, oh, I got Legos just for that because I'm
To make a 90-degree mold for when I make my walls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I've got my Lego stuff, but then I also do like resin casting and stuff, and I have a Lego sets just for making casting molds, because you can make them the Legos and the molds exactly as big as you want for whatever thing you're making a cast out of.
Right.
So Legos are great for that shit. But then I started thinking like, well, like Harry Potter and different things. And I thought, well, most people that start out on Legos are going to go to Warhammer and shit like that. I think a lot of the World War II people, it's, well, because it's a different generation. I don't know if we'll have this in the future, but I think it's just you get older, so you do want a lot of the older big kid kind of models. Like you're saying, the most popular model is Gundam models that sell off the shelves
right now, especially because of the whole Asian half of the world, is they have a very, very large, robust modeling community. And I mean, if you just seriously, if you want to find a lot of supplies, if you're doing modeling, go on to AliExpress and stuff like that. They have so much stuff that you never see in US online stores.
They got wacky racers at all these guys. I mean, that's
Gundam has been a big deal since we were kids.
Yeah.
And it's gotten bigger. Literally, I was at the last IPMS, International Plastic Modelers Society meeting that I went to in December. Two of the guys came in with, one of them came in with this Gundam kit that he just got in, and he paid like, I want to say over $150 for this Gundam kit, which was a third-party Gundam kit, so it wasn't an official one. This thing was literally, I don't want to say dozens of sprues, because I don't think it was that few. I think it was even more. It was in a box that was like almost 2.5 foot by 2.5 foot cubed. All right. And it was just filled with stacks after stacks of sprues with parts on it. And that's how in-depth that model was going to be that he just purchased, that Gundam model. And
I was going to say, that's like a lot of the big models we had when we were young, even the old Millennium Falcon model, if you remember. Stuff like that.
This makes that look like nothing.
Oh, really?
Trust me, I had the old Millennium Falcon. I put it together 2 or 3 times. I love the old Millennium Falcon model. This makes the old Millennium Falcon model look like somebody glued together a couple Frisbees and called it a day. All right. These things are really, I mean, just, and the Gundam models is, just go down to Hobbytown and take a look.
I've seen plenty of them,
yeah, they have an entire aisle just for the Gundam models. And when I went down to the Hobbytown down in Tulsa, they have a whole quarter of their store dedicated to the Gundam models.
Yeah, I mean, I've got Gundam models right over here, Robotech Gundam. The point I was making on the Lego thing though was that like Harry Potter, they do the flower stuff a lot. Lego has a ton of shit, and I don't know that all the new Lego stuff, like this year they put out a bunch of Lilo and Stitch shit. I don't know that's going to go good for modeling, no, especially with 3D printers. That's something to go, I'll just print that if it just seems like it might be age appropriate for one demographic, and then you progress to modeling,
right. And that's my thought is, they should, combine those things together in the same aisle. That way, as you're going along, you're like, oh, I like building this, and there's this as well, and not necessarily have the full big, C-Lab, full in-depth kit, but have simpler, the snap together kits that people can graduate to.
I agree with that, and they used to have that stuff all the time, because like I used to get showing you my age, but I used to get my models like at Kmart and shit a lot, Kmart and Alco and stuff, and
I used to use those for bits, get the World War II stuff and make 40K stuff out of it.
But in fairness, you used to be able to go to Alco and buy your D&D shit there too.
Yeah.
So yeah, places like Walmart and stuff, I just don't think are the place for that much, because most modelers I know go to hobby stores. They order it online. They're buying their limited edition models at con or straight from the distributor or something.
They have to,
buying it at Walmart almost cheapens the idea of it.
Well, because if you go to any of the stores that actually still have models anymore, besides Hobbytown, which would be like Michael's and Hobby Lobby, all right?
Ollie's, yeah.
Yeah,
But then, you
what
know,
they have for models is not very good, especially Michael's. Michael's the model selection is complete ass. Hobby Lobby has a better model aisle, but then most of their models are cars.
well, and most of the money is going to be made off that's going to be off of model supplies, not off the models. So it's
Oh
like having
yeah,
a comic book store. Most comic book stores, example, you went into Wizards the other day. I I love that store. I love the people that run it. They don't have much for comic books there. Like as a
no, they're
comic book
kind of getting
collector,
away from that.
huh?
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
kind of
but
getting
yet
away
it's
from
a
that.
comic book
If
store, kind
if
of
you
thing.
give them a list of comic books, they'll
Oh yeah,
go ahead and order those in for you.
just like Hobby Lobby, or I'm sure half of the geek stores in Wichita. You go to the Borough, they'll order a model in for you if you just give them a list.
Yeah,
Any of those places will order that shit because they're the same place you will, Amazon or wherever they need to get that. I think a lot of that, like I was saying with comic book stores, a lot of them aren't carrying comics models. There's such a large variety. I think it's one of those things. It's almost better to either print it yourself or go online and buy it yourself. But I'll go to Walmart and buy modeling supplies, like
yes.
paintbrushes and things and blades for
I
my Exactos or whatever.
I know that most of the models that I purchase, I purchase online because the model store doesn't have what I want. But
Right.
I always try as much as possible when I'm looking for a certain color paint, or if I need something accessory wise in order to flesh stuff out. I always try to hit the hobby stores first to see if they have it, to try to keep the funding local before I purchase online.
Yeah. And
But
I try to do
still,
that. I used to try to do it a lot more, but
yeah, as I say, still
unfortunately,
70% of the time, I still end up having to order online because they just don't have it.
well, and it not only do not have it. There's so many geek stores anymore, and so many of them have to do that where they have to order it in and then put it on the shelf, because there are so many IPs, you know, in pop culture to get this shit from. It's not worth it for me most of the time. I'll buy stuff in a store if they have that thing I need, that
Right.
thing I want, that rare piece, whatever. But so many of them now, it's just the newest shit coming out. They're not trying to
Hmm.
get older stuff and put it on the shelf or anything. It's just whatever new thing comes out. So now you can have the new Minecraft figurines, the new Star Wars figurines, and I got no real interest in that if they even have it. And most of the time, I can just hop online and buy it for 2/3 the price.
Yeah,
Um,
there is
and
that
I
as well.
love supporting local stores, and I will. I've been a huge supporter of all the local
Hmm.
stores, but that doesn't mean I'm going to go spend all my money in them because otherwise I wouldn't be able to financially keep up with being a collector. There's just no
No.
way.
Oh yeah, I
Um,
agree totally. I mean, it's amazing the number of things that I've looked for that I'll see it in the store and know for a fact that I have the exact same thing at home, and instead of them wanting $75 for it, I paid 45 for it
yeah,
when I purchased it online. And so even when you include the shipping and handling, I still got it for less.
yeah. Well, and I can pick up stuff right from a con half the time.
Or
Um,
even with your 3D printers. I mean,
yeah.
you guys can go online and get something you can print as many times as you want for a fraction of the price.
Well, and I hated it when I used to be when I was leather vending, mostly full time leather vending. I'd be tons of festivals, and people would always come up and go. They want to take pictures of stuff because they'd be like, "I'm going to go home and make it," or "I'm going to take a picture and show it to my buddy and have him make it," which would kind of piss me off because back in those days we had to make all our own patterns. You couldn't just
Right.
hop online. So I hated that. So I always tried to not do that. Like if I take a picture of somebody's product, I'll say, "Can I take a picture? I want to see." You send it to my brother, see if he wants one or something. But I that whole going to con and just going home, I'll go home and make it. It bothers me. But like with most of the 3D printer people at con, they're not doing anything that isn't simply push the button. It's printed now. There you go.
right.
It's not like they're painting it or doing anything to it. So it's like, well, it would be stupid for me to buy it from them.
It used to be people would say stuff like that. Yeah, I want to take a picture of this and then go home and build it.
And
And
they'll
then-
never build it, but yeah, they
they'll
talk.
never build it, or they'll try, or very few of them would be successful at it. But yeah,
So Mike says, howdy. Hi, Mike.
Hi.
Kelly says, just want to stop in and say hi, guys. Hi,
Hi.
Kelly. I did talk briefly about
Haribo.
some of the duties that Kelly gave me this week. Like, well, here, Firefly signed comics, Mark Hamill picture. I had this stuff over here. Anyway, but
Golly.
Kelly moved out of town. Kristen says for older collectibles. Yeah. See, I do like a lot of the older collectible shops. But like I could go hang at the Burrow all fucking day. I'll buy drinks from them. I'll do whatever I can do to promote their business, all that stuff, and I'll buy stuff from the Burrow. But
I
don't
always make it a point when I am sitting there at the Wizards Alley gaming. You know, they have their little kitchen set up. I'll buy a sandwich and some chips and stuff like that. You know, get myself a nice hot ham and cheese sandwich. That way, I'm supporting them. I'm not just warming a stool next to a table.
And for the most part, I think most of our stores in Wichita area do pretty good. I've been, when we're out of town a lot, I'll stop in other comic stores. And hell, I used to just, I know it sounds old of me, but before eBay was such a thing, I mean, we drove from state to state to comic book stores and game shops, and you would spend a whole weekend just going in game shops. So it's, your game shops pretty well. And there are so many of them that raise their prices through the fucking roof. And it drives comic book stores are the worst of it. They'll just raise prices and you'll go, I know the exact going rate for this. I know the exact condition of this. And you got it. It's like being at a convention and you see the comic wall in the back where everything is priced about 3 times higher than it books. It feels like comic stores are starting to do that too. More and more.
And that's one of the things too. Whenever I go help out, my coworkers in different areas, one of the things I do is I'm heading over to this area. Is there a hobby town around? I want to check out to see what they have in the hobby town. I know that the hobby town in Tulsa, really good. Hobby town in northern Oklahoma City, not so good. Hobby town over in Denver, bar the fucking door because I'm going to spend all my money there. That is an amazing hobby town there.
Yeah, and see, I'm that way, but with comic stores.
Yeah.
See, Kelly asked if Ash got his figures. No, he knows they are sitting in the winery, right over by the bottler. We just haven't. We've only seen each other once, and it was a gaming.
I will be coming up this weekend. I need to do an inventory, get bottles ordered, so we can bottle out what's there.
Right.
Because right now we've got 2 whole batches that are basically ready to bottle. They're aged up perfectly, and we tried something different with the recipe, just tweaking it a little bit, and I think it's really going to smooth out the mead a lot. I can't wait to try it when I get up there.
On that note, because I want to jump on and talk about Anime Fest here, but on that note too, next Friday I believe it is here in Newton at Prairie, we will be doing samplings. We're going to do some hot mead. And
at the third Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday, not Friday. So here in town, we're going to be doing some samples, selling wine, that kind of stuff. So if anybody's interested, I will post all the information both on Concast and on the winery page and on my page. I want to get everything finalized first. Ash was up late last night doing the paperwork, so we'll be doing that. And we just got invited to another chocolate festival in Hutch. I just got the invite today, but I don't know if we'll have time to do that one.
And the fact that we need to, one, we're still waiting on the map from them. Have not gotten the map and the contact information so I can finish off the paperwork. But hey, on the bright side, I got our annual federal excise taxes paid for the winery. I figured while I was sitting there last night, I was like, I need to do that. Got that taken care of. And I renewed our business license for the next 2 years. Got that taken care of. So those things are all
paid taxes. Let's see. Anime said, I'm going to assume that's Randy because it's the anime account and it says, "Did I hear Firefly?" And that'd be right up in Randy's alley. Yeah, I got some Kelly, among other things. He sent some signed Firefly comic books. Coincidentally, all comics already had, but these are signed.
$49.95.
A buddy of ours from back in high school had got those. He was a big con guy too, and
now who are they signed by? Because that's the important thing. If they're signed by me, I don't think anybody wants them.
Oh, this is Baldwin. So I am assuming this is Fillion, but I don't recognize the signature. But I'd have to look. So yeah, good. Randy says good call. So yeah, and especially with Randy's on here, that way if he wants to chime in too, I'm going to talk a little bit about the Anime Fest here. Since Randy called the other night and Holly was working, she had put together a thing months ago because this has been going on since the last Anime Fest.
Right.
I've been hitting some brick walls, a lot of burnout, a lot of big burnout with anime, or with not anime, but just conventions and festivals. Been doing it a long time, and it's wearing on me because the industry's changed. A lot of things have changed, and it ends up being a lot of work. With Anime Fest, we got a good team running shit there. Convention's a profitable convention, even to this day. I mean, I'm very happy that we didn't hear any of that, like, oh, well, I bet it was losing money or any of that stuff, because it's not. Profitable event. You can ask Cookie. We've been struggling with the idea on whether we just keep going with it or not daily here. But boy, is there some burnout. And we've been having problems with the Hyatt. Anybody who watches this probably knows that we've had issues with the venue space for years, to the point where the Wolf Moon staff, well, I feel very confident in saying the Wolf Moon staff knows more about putting on an event at the Hyatt than the Hyatt people do. We've been there longer than we've been there longer than most of the staff. I'd say most of their people running the convention stuff are there for a year or two, and then they seem to go away. Every once in a while, we'll get somebody good. So we've had all sorts of problems with the Hyatt, and that was part of it. So I was struggling with stuff, came to Wolf Moon people and said, I think I'm wanting to move on, even though my wife was really wanting to stay. And, didn't know that pretty much the rest of Wolf Moon staff was kind of feeling the same. They're all like, we've been doing this for 20 some years and we're burned out. 2 decades, and everybody got a little burned out. And it's not just with doing the event or with anime, it's the hotel's a big part of it. The event has been so big for years that we can't really move anywhere else. We can go over to Century 2, and we've considered it. We've looked at it. There'd be definite price differences. Right now, we have more panels than most any other convention in Kansas, but we'd have to cut all that down. I mean, if you look at the competing anime festivals came into Wichita, they'll have like 5 panels a day, and sometimes we'll have 5 panels at once. And that's not me bashing other cons, a little bit, maybe a little bit. But we've had 2 other anime festivals come into Wichita. And they're the typical traveling kind of convention where, not that they're doing anything wrong, but it is kind of a future way of conventions where you can take your guarantee, split them state to state, advantages that you don't get. Conventions like that often are made to run local conventions out. Could we stand up against them? Sure, no problem. The things that it hurts, though, is vendors and the patrons, because then when we have 3 conventions in town and then we have new Comic Cons and stuff, and now most Comic Cons are hiring voice actors and stuff, so now we're competing even with Planet for voice actors. We're competing even with the voice actors I was wanting to hire for last year. The new local convention came in and hired him, so we weren't able to use him. So now there's only so many voice actors you can get. So if we're in constant competition, it would just be like, like Tokyo and Tulsa, NakaCon, those close ones we'd have to compete against. Now we have to compete against conventions right in town on what voice actors we're getting. And that limits us, which means it's going to raise costs on everything. And we have to pull those ticket costs over. So there's all these extra external worries. And then when you get to talking about it and going, what can we do to make the convention better? There's stuff we could do. And notoriously, we have done that stuff. Like Emerald City is a great example where we were adding. We would have 5 bands in one night there sometimes, when most other steampunk conventions will have 1, because we were making what we thought was one of the best convention we could make. We could still do that. It could make it not profitable if we wanted. There's a lot of unknown outcomes moving further with it. Problem is we could take that energy and keep going with something we've been doing for 2 decades. We could take that energy, put it towards something else. And right now, it definitely feels like there's a lot of people gunning for you. It feels like the venue space is gunning for you. It feels like other conventions are gunning for you. And we could still keep doing it and still keep being successful, but that passion wouldn't be there, and that's not fair to everybody. I'm not saying that we'd just be doing it for the money, but it feels a little bit like that. And it feels like us as a group, we could do a lot more here locally without doing that. And I hope I kind of said that all correct. As far as me personally, still going to be doing cons. I just don't know if I'm going to be owning them. Still getting offers, still don't know. It's a different world. And like we're saying with politics and everything right now, it might be better to sit back and wait a little bit. We're watching the culture right now. I've talked about this with a ton of other convention owners. Some of you watch this, so you'll know who I'm talking about. But we're watching convention community come after conventions. Like the AI art thing is a big thing right now, where they're just going after conventions because you used something to promote your business that I didn't like. And I can agree with some of the AI art stuff, but the alternative then is people are calling for conventions to be shut down over it. Instead of calling for conventions to only use local art, I could be fine with that. Trying to get somebody's business shut down because they're doing business in a different manner in which you want them to, that's scary. I don't think I want to keep doing it. I think we've gotten into the toxic fandom a little bit, not with AFW. AFW has been pretty good with it. But con convention in the whole, just like Star Wars and everything else got. Marvel, great example, where the toxic fans come in so much telling you how to run stuff, how to do stuff, and they will rake you over the coals. So every time you finish a convention and people come out and go, I loved this and I loved this and I loved this, they might not see the 600 people that said they love something, but those 50 people that are bitching about the fact that one panel didn't happen or a guest had to leave early, that's what gets all the fucking news. And I won't lie, a couple decades of that, I'm tired of it. Huh?
The squeaky wheel gets the oil.
The squeaky wheel gets the oil. And it's not like it didn't used to be that way. We used to have, there's message boards. We always suggested all new conventions, if you can avoid message boards, do it, because all you're doing is giving a platform for people to complain. People that want to help will reach out and help. People want to complain will look for that easiest avenue to do that in. So the whole industry has become a bit tainted for us. And again, not leaving the industry entirely, but AFW, we are going to walk away from. I still struggle with the idea. Christy and I still talk. Even today we're talking, we could just step in, do it. Step in some new people and do it. It's not the same. We could do it ourselves. We run events by ourselves. But again, passion's not there. We as a group have talked, we would be very open to somebody else stepping and doing it. Again, profitable event. A lot of us, the way we started out and stuff, I was already working cons, but even crew I work with, with Great Plains, they helped me get on board. Randy, Holly, Nancy, Rich, all those guys, where I could make payments on things, work off money, and show my value. I think we'd be willing to do that for other people if we felt it was right. If there were people that wanted to take it over and move on with it. But we've also all are at a comfortable place where if we didn't feel it was right, we could walk away from it. But I think it could be a great event if people wanted to move on with it. And we'd be willing to talk to people about it. Reach out to Randy's information's on the post that Holly put together. You're welcome to reach out to me as well. Because we'd love to see it keep going. Peter Pixie ran it for those first 2.5, 3 years, and he wanted to see it keep going, even though he wasn't able to keep doing it. We're able. We're just, it's time for a new generation. It really is. I'm at a point now, my son knows way more about anime than I do, and I run a convention. So we're just at that point. If anybody does have questions, I'm going to try to make sure nobody does have questions. Longest running anime convention in Kansas. Yeah, and we're up toward. I know we're in the top 10 in the world, but that's not much because most anime cons started all close to the same time. Top 10 longest running in the world, I should say, not top 10 highest ranked. I don't know.
That's like pointing out I'm the oldest guy on this podcast. That's not saying much because Cookie's right behind me.
We're the longest running pirate comedy show in the world. Just think about that though. Longest running pirate comedy show. How many of them are there? Yeah.
So, I just think I think we're getting old when all of your claim to fames are we haven't died yet.
Yeah. We've been doing it. Look, we haven't given up as quickly as all the smart people did.
We've been doing this for 25 years. What we're really saying is we ain't got nothing else to do.
Well, and that's the hard part. We talk about it with Wolfman too. You watch other cons come up and they'll go like celebrating their 10-year anniversary, and we'll be like, "Oh, I remember 10 years. That was a big deal." And now, even like with WAGs, where I remember it was 20-year anniversary not long ago. Then we did the 25th year anniversary, and I heard something. 25th anniversary and stuff, and so now every 5 years just goes pretty fucking quick. And two, I could keep running Anime Con, but I mean, like I loved steampunk, and I get the opportunity to help run steampunk with Big River and stuff. I would like to maybe, we're talking about getting more involved with Tsunami Con or some gaming cons. I think I'd like to move on to some other events. Done anime for a long time. It's good. I love it, but I can go to Anime Con, enjoy it with my friends. And I think I'd enjoy it more if I wasn't running a con. So maybe we'll put together a horror con or a cryptid con or something.
It's always the thing. The sandwich tastes better if you're not the one making it.
Huh?
The sandwich tastes better if you're not the one making it. I don't know. I make some pretty mean fucking sandwiches.
I get that. I always look at it as it's easier to go clean someone else's house than yours. You ever hear that expression?
Yeah, because you're not invested.
Right. So, like, it's a lot easier for me to go to somebody else's convention or festival and help them because I can make a big impact at somebody else's event if they need me. But you don't make much money doing that. Make more money running cons or festivals, but I'm getting old. I think that's it. And I think maybe Randy, if he's still on, could answer this. I think I might be the youngest person in Wolf Moon. Maybe.
But it's like I think it was Groucho Marx who said, W.C. Fields, you're only as old as the woman you feel.
Yeah. Yeah. Kelly says we need a big toy show. Are you talking like a big boy toy show or a big show just with toys? Because more and more, pretty much all our cons are starting to turn into a little bit. It's just more and more toys and stuff like that. Nothing wrong with that. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, I like that too. But yeah, and anymore, all the big boy toy shows are just a presentation of things that I can never afford.
Yeah, I used to like the big boy toy show we had here in Wichita. I used to like that show. We'd go do promos to the Ren Fair and stuff. Matter of fact, the guy that ran that show ended up running PopCon with us.
Right.
But I always liked it for like the food and the celebrities because there was always free food samples and great restaurants in there. At that time, we were doing a lot of food shows, and then the celebrities like Hacksaw Jim Duggan would be there, and you could hang out with him. Or
what we need is our own version of the exploitation place. Their Death by Chocolate night.
Yeah,
we need our own version of that, where we just charge people an outlandish amount of money to come in and drink and eat all the stuff that the vendors are providing for free so that they can get exposure, and all that they're doing, all that the place is doing is just sitting there raking in the money and shoving drunk people out of the door 3 hours later.
Those are what I've always called you. I know you've heard it where I call them vampire prom nights.
No.
Oh yeah, years ago I think it was Kristen and who all came out. They were going to a vampire prom that Voltaire or somebody was doing in Kansas City, and I was already running events. Matter of fact, I might even have hired Voltaire at that point. I can't remember. I just don't remember. So I'm looking at that event because I'd learned an outfit or something to go, and I'm looking at it and going, okay, well, like I'll hire Voltaire. We'll do him, Cog is Dead, and the Aeronauts or something, like 3 bands.
Yeah.
And that'll just be the Saturday night show, let alone all the programming and paneling throughout the day, the T races, all the things you put in a convention, right? And then it's like, so this is just 3 or 4 hours of you guys doing a couple games and listening to Voltaire do a concert. And it's like, yeah, it's great. It's fucking awesome. How much you paying? $40 a ticket. And it's like, oh, you're paying for 3 days of convention at ours, and we've got multiple bands and all this. And I thought, well, fucking cheesy bastards. Wait a minute. They're doing it smart. They're doing 1/10 the entertainment we are, charging the same price, and they only have to do it for 3 hours instead of 3 days. That's the way to go.
Yeah.
And
sometimes with things, if you give people less and charge them more, they think they're getting more, that it's a higher quality.
I've talked about this with Jake too. Jake does the St. Louis Gateway Festival, the Pirate Festival there.
Right.
Great festival. And this is not bashing that festival at all.
It's a ball.
It's a ball. I love that show. However, that show he does there, as cool as it is, was simply the Saturday night show at Emerald City.
Yeah.
I mean, and to be honest, that Saturday night show at Emerald City, we'd have bigger bands. We
Okay.
have huge.
I would like to
bands
point
here.
out, I just looked up the tickets for Death by Chocolate at Exploration Place, and I'm not poo-pooing them. I'm just saying this is a racket. This is a good racket to be in. Their general admission tickets are $150 a person. All right. VIP is $250 a person. It's one night, and general admittance is only for 3.5 hours.
Yeah, we performed Death by Chocolate before. I don't know if you were with us when we were doing that. Yeah, and
Well,
But
I
they
was
have a venue, though.
you know what we get for performing Death by Chocolate? Chocolate.
exposure.
We get exposure, and we get I did have the best beer milkshake I ever had in my life at the first Death by Chocolate we did. Buffalo Sweat Vanilla Bean with Freddy's frozen custard in it. Oh, it's so good.
I really got to, the time that I helped out there, I really got to stretch out my ability to be a good barker, and was selling tickets for the wine and chocolate pairing that was going on upstairs. And that
See,
worked out
a whole nother ticket sale at a 3-hour event. How crazy is that?
Yeah, and I was
but
telling
I've
people,
been to
you
times
will
I've
walk
only been
up those
part of
stairs
shit like
and
that.
will stumble back down, and they were. I saw some women coming down and not killing themselves in their Barbie heels. But I remember after barking that for a couple hours, I went down because Freddy's frozen custard had a little booth there, and I went down because I just wanted a milkshake. That's all I wanted. I just wanted a milkshake, and they were so helpful. But everything there was just alcohol, and Freddy's frozen custard, they went out of their way in order to make me a chocolate milkshake that was not their alcoholic mudslide that they were serving people. They washed out containers and made a nice milkshake for me. They were very nice people.
I've had shows like that too, where we've had shows, even though, like, let's say it's a smoker show, and everybody thinks we're drunk. We're not drinking at all. Keep it sober because we got to drive back to Kansas that night or something. So you're pretending, and you're like, paying drinks for free. You go up to the bar and you're like, just want an iced tea. I just want a Dr. Pepper. I just want bartender made you something special, and you're like, I kind of fucking try.
I gotta say though, I think I've pretended to be sober more times than I've pretended to be drunk.
Well, that's because
I mean, come on. Man.
Normally, like with a lot of us, we'll look at each other and we'll go, okay, we need at least 2 sober drivers. And Sleepy Hollow was always bad about that because
you were there the very first time I met Jessica, my wife. All right, we had to kidnap her, but if you remember, we were walking around fair with her between you and I, and we had our we had our grog, which was just blackberry brandy and
Captain Morgan.
And Captain Morgan 50-50. You shake it up and let it age as you walk in. And
that's a secret recipe, man. Don't tell people how hard that is to make.
But I still remember we were walking around the fair, and she was walking between you and I, and we were passing the bottle back and forth. And this little 115-pound little thing was in the middle of the bottle pass, and she was taking a drink each time it was coming between her. And then eventually, she just was walking around holding on to the bottle. And I looked at her. I was like, girl, if you don't want to drink, don't drink. Just don't bogart the fucking bottle, okay?
Yeah.
It's okay now, but at one point I would have been shitting myself because I'd be like, Randy's on here, and Randy's the motherfucker that used to have to scold us when we drank at fair, and now you're just admitting we drank during that.
Yeah, well, if he didn't know that he was oblivious on purpose.
No,
That was full of iced tea, Randy.
he
Yeah,
knew. Trust me. Back before I was an owner, we had the infamous Big Tim I don't like that story. If you've heard that.
Is that the one where he was in sugar coma or whatever?
Yeah. And
yeah.
he grabbed Big Ray by the balls and he was the puppet. Now that whole fiasco.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Got us fired. And in fairness, we were not supposed to be drinking. Biggin was way overdoing it. Him and Ray. I was totally sober.
What Randy say?
And Randy did have Randy's a saint.
Double dipping.
Well, in fairness, he was nice about it, but I'll be honest because I was very much like, you got every right to just fucking.
I remember
at that point it was get rid of Biggin before I'll fucking quit the fair because I was mad at Biggin. But
I remember one of the first times that I was performing with the Wags. I remember at one point someone came up, and this Cookie, you were in the group at the time. I remember someone came up and was talking to you, John, and they were like, you know, you guys are so committed to the bit. There's one guy out there laying in the middle of the road. He's acting like he's passed out drunk. All right. And as soon as that person left, John's like, oh shit, where's Tim? My God.
Yeah.
No, I know that poo trick right there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There was other reasons for that, but we ain't gonna get into
talk
that.
about it on here, but
because once it's on the internet, it's on the internet forever.
Our old buddy Pooh from Kansas City Ren Fair.
God rest his soul. God, I miss that dude.
Yeah, he taught us all sorts of good. Well, he taught you all sorts of good tricks that have now umbrella to all of us. But yeah,
Randy said he believes you.
Yeah, whatever. So we've been on for an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah,
I should have probably just called Randy, had him on here. We could talk about the Anime Fest and just what it takes to fucking put some of this together.
Hey, you know what? Next week, let's have Randy on.
Sometime. Maybe next week we'll see and see how I've been wanting to see what the response has been from making the announcement. And to be honest, it's been a lot of you guys were the first convention I ever went to. You have a special place in my heart. A lot of caring. Like a lot of people go, no, I get it. It's been 20 years. And I don't even think I've heard anything negative. Maybe the closest negative I heard was one guy said if somebody takes it over, they should move it from the Hyatt, which I was surprised for. Almost inspiring because so many people say move it from the Hyatt, but it's like, well, if we do, we're going to lose most of our programming. And I don't think people understand that. But if we move from the Hyatt, we'd just be just like the other two anime cons here, 5 panels a day, a vendor room, and a couple guests. And not saying it's bad, but it would be real hard to separate the gaming room because like right now we can have gaming people have their own area, which is great. If we did it there, all the gaming people will be right out there in the common area, and you're going to get a ton of people coming in and getting in on your games. I think it would change the feel of the convention dramatically.
It would. I mean, theoretically, you could do the stuff like, you know, where you build rooms out of dividers and stuff like that and do it like that. But still, yeah,
it kills noise a lot too. As an entertainer, I mean, you've been there where we'll get to convention and they'll go, okay, we got a stage for you guys. It's right here in the middle of all the vendors, and go. And it's real hard to mess with people when you see people within 15 feet of your stage area trying to make a sale. And you might be messing with somebody or calling for a crowd, and then some vendor's pissed off because they got to wait for you to finish doing what you're doing in order to talk to a customer, or it's not fair.
You know, and
Randy's going to tell me where I'll be there. We can do it streaming, Randy.
Yeah. We'll just set it up on your on whatever device, your phone, your computer, whatever you want to use. You'll just log in and you'll just be here, one of the pretty boxes like we are.
I think that might be a good one as we talk a little bit, because we were waiting a little. Everybody's waiting on me to see if I wanted to, if Christy and I maybe want to take over the convention, keep running with it. So we haven't fully made plans on what we're doing this year, because it makes a difference between whether it's our last year or another year. And since it's going to be our last year, I'm sure we're going to get together and talk about who we want to bring in, how we want to do things. That might be a good thing to get on podcast and maybe try to get some people to chime in and talk a little bit.
Kelly, listen, dude, check this out.
Kelly,
I'm making some terrain for our game, brother.
Yeah, Kelly was asking Tim when they're going to game again, and that's what Tim was responding to. For those who can't see it.
Speaking of gaming, too, Honk, if you're still on here, I got some images I need to send you too. So don't let me forget to text you tonight. Rise for FW like Phoenix or Deadpool. Yeah, and again, I'm going to put it out there. If you guys know somebody who's interested in running a con, it's a profitable con. Still good.
I know somebody you should approach.
There's nobody wrong with it. So, but send them to Randy or something, because we'll all talk as a committee.
Yeah. See, I can't
and
do
no
it.
guarantees on where it's going, but
I can't do it because I don't like people. So yeah.
Well, and the older I get, it's like I love seeing our fans and stuff. But there's one thing, seeing somebody coming up and going, "Let me buy you a drink. You guys were hilarious," and somebody else coming up and going, "I'm very upset that you don't have a kids' room for my kids to go play in," or critiquing the con and stuff. And it's a different element. Mike says yes. Kelly says sweet. All right. So I think that's what we got for this week.
Tie this thing up and let's all get to dinner.
Next week, I know one thing I will talk about, because I'm going to watch that last bit of Stranger Things, and I don't care spoilers or not. I'm going to do them next week.
Go for it.
Unless you
do that.
Okay. Fair enough. Because this is it. This is the end of the whole series. And it is kind of sad. Of 10 years, they could have went out on a better note.
They kind of have to make it the end of the whole series because those actors are aging out.
Yep.
They're all in their early 20s now. I kind of feel bad for them because they're trying to make them look like they're teenagers in the 80s still. And they're all trying to act really – that was one of my things. They're all trying to act really tough.
Here's the problem with that. They're trying to make them look like teenagers now, but dressing them in the 80s. If you go back and look at pictures of teenagers in the 80s, they look like they were in their 20s and 30s.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yep. Jeans and a T-shirt, man. That's all I wore.
Trust me, I know. I was a teenager in the 80s.
Yeah.
So were you.
Yeah.
Yep. Actually, you were an old man in the 80s because I graduated in 89. You were already in college, so that made you an old man.
I graduated in 89 as well.
Did you? I thought you already had graduated and were in college in 89.
Well, yeah, I graduated in 89, then went to college in 89.
Damn.
Yeah, that whole spring, fall kind of thing.
Yeah, I got you.
All right.
Yeah. Well, I'm 92. I feel like I got to throw that out there because the last couple of events I've gotten you're the oldest
guy. You look
guy
like you're 92. What? Huh? I said you look like you're 92.
Yeah, lately, I'm not kidding. Like last few things we've gone and done, I'm just assumed to be the oldest guy in the group. It's got to be the white hair or something.
It very much so is. I mean, I'm starting to gray out, but nothing compared to you.
You got Grandpa Horn's
hair. I always said when I was young, if I do it, I just want to get
all right. We're talking about a gray hair. Let's wrap this up, okay?
All right. Night. Hugs and kisses.
Hasta la vista, baby.
All right. Ciao.